1. So timer actually starts after I skip this cutscene. Alright, I have random machines and I'll be running back by 80% along with 2 commentators. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Charlie. I ran this back in 2019 for GTA Marathon.
Yeah, and I'm Galllabo. I run this from like time to time, and I have an unofficial second place in this game.
Alright, let's start then. You guys want to talk about this part?
Sure. So, okay, this is Bad Blood. This is a DLC campaign for Watch Dogs. It came out about 4 months after Watch Dogs. Today is actually the 9-year anniversary of the Watch Dogs game. In this game, you play as T-Bone, a side character, and in this first mission, it's just a big escape mission. We actually start in Bad Blood with a bunch of skills and weapons already. We just gotta run through, take out some enemies, and progress our way to get out of this building.
Oh yeah, and in the chat they talking about like how it's French. It's French because it saves like 5 seconds or something in this DLC.
Yeah, it saves 4 seconds over English, and it's the fastest language out of all of them. One interesting thing you'll notice, there's a lot of camera hacking and stuff like that. With Watch Dogs 1, all the camera movement and you know, aiming in general is control stick emulation. And I think some other GTA games are like that as well. So there's a max speed at which you can turn the camera. Even if you flick your mouse and use high sensitivity, you're capped at how fast you can move. So now we get a classic Watch Dogs hacking scene here. Let's see Random take it away.
Alright, you guys talk about this strat I'm about to do.
Oh, yeah, sure. We used to, so you'll notice in the top left here it says escape, kill all enemies or escape. We used to escape here. Turns out, for a multitude of reasons, it's faster to kill them. Random, correct me if I'm wrong. The main reason is we need headshots to get those experience points to unlock skills for later in the run, so we can get a tech upgrade. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I killed him for that, plus it's faster.
Yep. And we actually respawn like several blocks away in the city here, across the river, with that autosave reload. So quite a bit faster. And we also spawn right next to a bike, which is required for the remainder of this mission. It's just because a bike is small enough to get into close by places.
Yeah, and you need a bike to do a strat later in the mission.
Yeah, I notice I use the focus when turning. Sometimes that's called power turning. Allows me to keep the speed while turning. Keep most of my speed at least.
While we're doing this drive, it's just a long drive across the whole map. I'll mention, so last time Bad Blood was on GTA Marathon was in 2019, and at that time, world record was 12 minutes slower, and the estimate for the run for GTA Marathon was 25 minutes slower. So since then, Random has gotten world record and optimized the hell out of this category and this run in general. So there's a ton of different strats from what we did back then, and I hope you enjoy it, because they're really impressive and way faster. I'll just say that.
So in this scene, you can get like a bug where the gate here doesn't close for whatever reason. He didn't get it here, but sometimes that game will close and it'll save you a few seconds. We're not sure why this happens. Seems to just be random.
Yeah, it's somewhat FPS based. We can go into FPS stuff later.
Yeah, I think that only happens if you reload autosave, no? The gate bug.
utiliser
Yeah.
cela. Oh, vaut mieux être parano et vivant que parano et mort.
Do some cover sliding to move faster.
Yep. Fun thing about this cutscene, if you let the police chase you on that long drive across the map, and it'll actually delay the Aiden phone call, and you can be on the Aiden phone call while in this cutscene, and T-Bone will put a phone on the chair and still have one in his hand because he's on the phone call still. It's not faster though because you have to have the police chase you across the map. So
Yeah, too bad this cutscene is unskippable. So we have to wait.
I guess during this cutscene we can explain what Random Machine is gonna do after this. So he's gonna like follow the car and then hack a traffic light and hope that like disables the car. It's the fastest way to stop it and then get in it.
Yeah, that's one way, but I have the Kodachi, so instead I might wait to catch him at the next intersection and drive into the back of his car and shoot him there.
And that's the older strat that we used to do, and it can be used as a backup. I think you've said before that it can only work with Sayonara, like the fastest bike. So since he has a slow bike, he'll probably do the slower strat here.
and where we stop the enemy car, it matters, right? Because that kind of determines where the enemies spawn in and our escape circle and stuff like that.
Yep.
You can get really unlucky with the enemy spawns, and you have to just do a lot more driving to escape.
Ouais, pas super bien. Ton signal GPS apparaît par intermittence.
Ouais, c'est normal ça. Ils doivent le brouiller. Oh, ça pue, putain. À tous les coups, c'est les fixeurs.
Eh merde.
So this is the reason we took the bike. It's still parked out here, and we can actually drive it on this sidewalk and get a head start. We want to make sure we don't get too close to this guy in the car. Random will slow down here a bit. If you get too close, it'll make him start fleeing.
J'ai presque plus de batterie. Dépêche-toi, s'il te plaît.
Ça y est, je vous vois. Ok. Alors maintenant, garde.
And in Watch Dogs, we can't.
Et accroche-toi.
There's no drive-by shooting. You can't shoot and drive, so you actually have to get off your bike every time you want to take out someone with a gun.
Yeah, at least
Normally the intent
not in this one.
in this game. Yeah. Normally the intent in this game, I think, is you hack cars to take them down. So you can see on the minimap in the bottom right, there's a bunch of enemy cars. We want to pick the route that dodges them so they don't see us. That way we can just drive outside the escape circle and not have to get in a car chase. Luckily, the escape circle ends right at where we want to go, essentially. So.
Ouais.
Yeah, if you don't get an escape circle, you have to actually like stop at the place and kill everyone, which loses a lot of time.
Yep.
Inspectrice Billings, j'écoute.
Je suis là.
Monsieur Mystère.
Yeah, I think this is the only mission that I drive to the entire way in the run.
Non.
The rest of the missions are fast travel.
J'espère que vous appelez pour me donner un coup de main.
Non, pas vraiment. En fait, j'ai besoin de fric et aussi de matériel.
Non, c'est pas le boulot qui manque.
So I'll try to get to the mission marker, and near there, I'll try to do a dialogue skip if I'm fast enough. But bailing on the car, you can skip dialogue of T-Bone when he's talking to someone else.
Pour une fois, l'argent des contribuables servira enfin à combattre le crime. Ça devrait vous faire plaisir que le système fonctionne de temps en temps.
So I think I was a little bit late,
Tenez,
but
je vous envoie
okay.
ce que j'ai sous la main.
Attendez, je regarde ma carte.
J'ai mis en évidence l'un des gangs, le Chicago South Club.
So on this mission, there's a ton of enemies, and there's two enemies that you need to take down, but they're not the same every time. It's like RNG who they are, so he's gonna have to scan everyone and see if they're the target, and if they are, he has to take them down. Even if you restart the game, it's all the same. You have to restart the game. Wait, no. If you reload the autosave, it's still gonna be the same. You need to restart the game to refresh these. Oh wow, he actually got
That's
like
the
really
best
good
luck.
RNG here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And click some bags for items. Nice, you got some electronic parts. That'll be important later.
Yeah, that was stellar. That was really good. So you just kind of have to run around until the mini-map flashes, and that's that indicates that you can fast travel. So we're just going to fast travel back to home base, which is right next to the next marker.
Yeah, I should mention the restart mission skips the opening cutscene of each mission.
Saves a few seconds.
And unfortunately,
gate glitch.
I didn't get
Yeah.
the gate bug, so we have to wait for this. There's an electronic part and unstable chemical component, so I'll click those. And then, yeah,
Oh yeah, the classic.
Speed Freak. So, when you're doing a speedrun, you have to wear this outfit.
We unlocked it in the previous mission, and it's just fitting for a speedrun. I think here's a good place to talk about how we determined French was fastest. So here's a part where we have to wait for dialogue. We consider this blocking dialogue. So if this dialogue were faster in a different language, we'd want to use that language. So I made a live split kind of plugin for the auto splitter that logs out the duration of every line, and we just had to do a run in every language, and then we can figure out which language is faster by adding up all the dialogue lines for each one. So we have a massive spreadsheet. Fun fact, French is the fastest, and then Japanese is the slowest. It's 8.5 seconds slower than French. But interestingly, some languages are faster in certain segments. So for ILs and stuff like that, it might be faster to use Portuguese or Italian or something like that.
And it's ironic that Japanese is slowest in Bad Blood, because in the main game, Japanese is the fastest.
Yeah. For a different reason, because it is missing dialogue entirely, but...
Je vais aller faire un petit tour chez Bloomforge. Alors, si ça sonne à la porte, t'ouvres pas.
So here, he's gonna go to a parking lot, and there's gonna be just RNG cars there, and you're gonna hope that you get a good car here. Most of the time, it's pretty bad cars, and you have to switch during the drive. So we'll see what RNG he gets here.
you hope I get a muscle car. That's the best one.
And this is the longest drive in the game, so it's important to get a quick car, right?
Unfortunately, it's bad vehicles. A bad car here. So I have to switch. Should be a parking lot here. I can get a good vehicle. If this is a performance car, so it's one of the fastest vehicles in the game.
So here you just kind of just drive in a straight line for a bit. Nothing really interesting to say here.
Yeah, just try not to crash.
Il y a vraiment qu'aux États-Unis qu'une personne peut être à la fois une personnalité et complètement anonyme.
I guess what's coming up is we're going to do some grenade boosts. We can talk about FPS and how it affects stuff in this drive. So you can see in the top left, we're actually capped at 120 FPS. That was a recent rule change. There's strange things that happen at very high FPS. You can essentially, we call it speed strafing. You do like an input like air strafing in a Source Engine game, and you move it in an arc pattern, and it's just faster than running. It's kind of ridiculous, and it requires like 180 FPS minimum. At 300 FPS, you can start climbing world border walls and just like go out of bounds. That's kind of crazy too. So we capped at 120. It seems pretty reasonable. But we also use Riva Tuner to have hotkeys to change the FPS. I think random you drop to 30 FPS.
20 FPS.
20. Okay.
20 and 60.
And that comes in handy for grenade boosts. You just take less damage from a grenade at low FPS. You die at 120. Here we get park in the triangle, so you get ejected from the car immediately. So you'll see coming up, we'll use grenades to kind of jump over things, and we'll switch to low FPS just for that instance to not die.
And destruct those guards so I don't have to kill them. Good RNG.
Oh, il y a quelque chose de pas net ici. Bon, eh ben on va voir ce que c'est.
Got another hacking puzzle here.
Missed a little bit, but still pretty okay.
You're so good at them, dude. It doesn't matter.
And now I need to get a skill, explosion resistance for the bomb jumps.
T'en connais plusieurs, toi?
Bah ouais, rien que dans la famille des lasers à gaz, il y en a déjà 8. Azote, dioxyde de
So that's why we're trying to get headshots, killing people earlier, so we can get enough points to upgrade these skills. And all the shaking in every elevator in this game is due to high FPS. The game is just not meant to be run at 120, but
Yeah, I've seen like random machine in the first mission even like fall through the elevator at high FPS. So yeah, some shenanigans can happen.
Okay, hope I don't film the mission here. Laser part is actually really hard to get consistent. Reload all save to teleport me out and reset the lasers.
Alright, so here normally you'd use the RC car that we got earlier. And you drive through a vent to hack this stuff. So the other option is you just grenade boost over it. It skips the RC car tutorial and stuff like that. We still have to use RC car later though.
Yeah, we'll do another grenade boost like 40 minutes or something later in the run as well. To skip a bunch of running.
Oh my gosh.
Sur quoi tu travaillais avant Bloom?
sur des systèmes de contrôle.
That got really close.
Qui se dilatent et se rétractent en fonction des changements de pression. Appuyez sur des
Fortune blocked myself a bit, so I have to move out of the way.
Ouais, je comprends mieux. Si je veux les désactiver, va falloir que je reroute l'alimentation. Je suis sûr qu'ils avaient pas prévu ça, c'est naze.
So on easy difficulty, the guards are like super unaware. So you can just kind of drive right at them and skip most of the difficult parts.
I'm gonna try to drive into the boxes here and can hack this terminal right between the boxes.
Yeah, normally you go up an elevator and go through some obstacles, but yeah, just look left and you can hack things through the gap.
Putain, tu te fous de ma gueule ou quoi?
Quoi?
Quoi? Hein? Quoi? C'est pas vrai. Je parie que
You can actually bomb jump here as well, but it's not faster than just doing the hacking puzzle because it's so quick to do.
Okay, guys, explain the phone strat I'm about to do.
Sure, yeah. So there's some cases where you can pull out your phone and it will skip certain triggers when it comes to cutscenes and stuff like that. So we're gonna use it here to skip. It like skips putting T-Bone at this table, and so you can just run straight up to the guy and save some time driving the RC car. So now we can just run up to him. Normally we'd drive this with the RC car, and then we have to purchase the stun upgrade, and then just insta stun him. We'll do more like that later in the run. And then the insta stun from the RC car also comes in handy. It's essentially a melee insta kill that we can use. You just drop the RC car and pick it back up. These
Yeah,
lasers don't do
it
anything.
even kills enforcers, which are like the toughest enemies in the game, and they still get one shot by the RC car stun.
Bon, j'ai trouvé ton fichier, et autant te le dire, c'est carrément la merde. Ils t'ont mis les meilleurs fixeurs au cul, mon pote. Le même genre que ceux qui me cherchent. Sauf que moi, je suis planqué depuis des années. Imagine, ils ont même pas mes données.
One's been pretty good so far actually.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with this Act 1. Act 1 has a lot of RNG and stuff, so can fail a lot.
10 ans après, mais pourquoi?
So this end strat here to escape is different from what I used to do.
Le truc, c'est qu'on a pas beaucoup.
I used to just run off a platform and run out of the escape circle, but it's quicker to
Tu vis à Clodoville.
blow up a fence and jump off the side of the building. And you'll see we jump we land on a fence just so we don't die. You take
Te chercher
just enough fall damage.
à la phase 2.
Redis pas ça comme ça, s'il te plaît. Tu vas me filer une crise de stress.
Vaut mieux que t'en aies une ici et maintenant plutôt que là-bas. Parce qu'on va t'utiliser pour attirer.
So I gotta kill this guy out here first with the shotgun.
Ah ouais. Non.
Faut que je te laisse. Parce que la fête va bientôt commencer.
Great placement. Yep, and as soon as we leave the escape circle, you can instantly fast travel in this mission.
This is actually one of the rare cases where you can fast travel before the mission fully completes. There's not a lot of missions that you can do that, and you can do that in like a couple missions in the base game. I'm not sure how many in the DLC. I think this is the only one.
Yeah, so in this mission, we start in a car. So we don't get and we're escorting for...
Reste normal. Faut que
Oh, and this drive is
Normal comment? Normal pour toi ou normal pour moi?
interesting, right?
Pour moi, normalement,
Yeah, you can't switch the vehicle here, so you have to stay with this vehicle.
normal, comme normal. J'ai besoin d'un peu de temps pour accéder à leurs données et voir si je trouve quelque chose. Toi, tu te contentes de marcher, je serai derrière toi.
Well, this is the low risk route. Okay.
mais qu'est-ce qui te fait croire que ça va marcher?
Non seulement ils sont à ta recherche, mais en plus ils savent que t'as...
Oh, this is the fastest one actually.
Comme ça.
Oh, really? Okay.
Donc,
The risky one is in the next mission.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is completely different from what I used to do. So I used to go
ouais.
across the big bridge
Et ici, se décide à bouger.
and cut through the park.
But I found this route and it's the fastest one. So
An example of one of the optimizations that went in and made this run, what did I say,
Je te ferai dire que
12 minutes
l'origine,
faster.
C'est toi la cause de mes problèmes de confiance.
Eh oh, qui est-ce qui t'a sorti de ce putain de coffre?
Ouais, bon, il y a eu ça, ouais, c'est vrai.
Alex skips are another big optimization. You'll see a ton here
Et
in
si
this
on
mission.
disait qu'on fermait notre gueule jusqu'à ce qu'on arrive?
Eh ben, ça me va. Ouais, c'est quand même flippé ton plan.
Ray, t'es trop près.
nice, I got a Sayonara here. Fastest bike in the game.
C'est ça, je m'écoute pas. Je m'écoute jamais.
Yeah, this one isn't guaranteed.
You can actually push Tobias down the stairs to make it a bit faster than him walking down, but it's pretty risky. You can like kill him and stuff.
Pushed a little bit, but didn't really say much.
Il me fait peur, ce mec. Il a vraiment pas l'air d'être.
Yeah, so here we just gotta profile these people when Fuhrer gets paranoid about them. Then dialogue skip T-Pone's line. This is a lot easier with the bike, right?
Sur le banc,
Yep.
il lâche pas les yeux.
It's nice that we got one.
C'est un ouvrier.
Ray,
So there's actually a whole bunch more people that Fuhrer gets paranoid about, but for some reason they're optional. So we can just drive away at this point and deal with the next actually required part.
So now I'll crash into some crates here and destroy them. This is so that they don't block me from shooting these enemies, so will show up later on.
Yeah, because in the next shootout, if you don't destroy these box things, the enemies will actually take cover on them, and it makes it harder to kill them and stuff. So it just makes the shootout a lot easier later.
Bon, panique pas, mais il y a un type qui te suit.
Je panique pas, je panique
Be parking this bike here, and be using it to chase the fixture at the end of the mission.
Eh, mon gars, t'aurais pas une petite pièce pour un vétéran? Mais attends,
Let's try and see these guys have system keys, but fortunately they don't.
pas obligé de répondre comme ça.
The system keys are good for blackouts, right?
Bon, il suivait pas en fait.
Yep,
Par contre, le
he,
clodo qui
from
arrive,
Blackout's
j'ai aucune
the
donnée
most OP hack in the game, as we'll see later on.
En foutez-moi la paix. Tu te pointes chez moi sans invitation?
I think I should be fine with system keys though. Got an extra one during the second mission of Act 1
On n'a pas de temps
from
à
one of the
perdre,
bags.
S'il vous plaît, hein, vous dégagez ou je nique la tête. Nique la tête? T'es vraiment un gros enfoiré.
Here I can actually aim my gun, otherwise I found the mission, so I just do this.
D'accord. Au revoir. Et merci.
Yeah, I'm just always scared to take out my gun in the first place.
Yeah, you could just use a profile to basically
Yeah.
do the aiming there.
Ça va, c'est bon, tu peux ouvrir. La voie est libre.
Si t'avais un flingue sur la tempe, c'est exactement ce que tu dirais.
Yeah, this door's bugged for some reason.
La différence,
It's on,
c'est que moi j'ai pas un
I
flingue
think it's
sur la
based on
tempe.
like your graphic settings. If you play on like ultra, then you can see through it.
Putain. J'ai pas le temps pour ce genre de conneries.
There's actually like a whole room in there too. It's like computers and stuff. Saw it for the first time after upgrading my computer.
Joueur, faut que tu m'aides là.
Les caméras, Ray. J'ai installé des flingues sur les caméras.
Putain, alors là je suis bluffé.
I want to try to kill these guys as fast as I can. Hope it goes well.
Près de l'autoroute.
Ouais, je les ai pas butés sur le coup.
Sans blague, putain. Oh, je m'attendais à un type.
Yep, so all it comes down. Yeah, go ahead.
Rien que pour
Yeah, the first thing you do is blow up that car with the grenade launcher camera, and then after that you just kind of just stay in this one camera and just shoot everyone else that comes through.
It's just about keeping up with them and killing them fast enough so that people don't get out of your field of view.
Also, if you get lucky, you can like hack explosions from guys, and if they're like in a big group of enemies, you can kill a lot at once, but that's pretty rare.
Nice shot.
Il faut une meilleure couverture.
Ouais, il faut que t'arrêtes ces types. Je suis coincé. Et s'ils te tuent, ils viendront pour moi après.
Merci de t'inquiéter pour moi. Bon, faut que je trouve.
That was okay, I guess.
Yeah. So there's a weird trick here. It's like AI manipulation, but it's super easy. You just wait for 3 seconds once you get on your bike, 2 or 3. And for some reason, it forces this guy you're chasing to turn around on the highway and just drive back at us, which is really convenient because we don't have to chase him. We can just stand on the road and shoot him.
I think you found that if.
Yeah, I found it on accident.
Tiens, on dirait que t'aimes bien faire des allers-retours à un chantier en construction.
And try to get in this car to get
C'est
some
bien, et en
components.
plus, c'est pas suspect du tout.
You guys can explain what I'm about to do here. Reload, I'll save.
Ok, je crois que j'ai
highway
localisé
jump?
leur plan froid.
Or am I confused? Oh, yeah, sorry, WKZ. Okay. So I never did this, and it's really hard to understand because it's like mostly invisible stuff. But you have to start this next mission before this dialogue with Tobias is finished. So we reload autosave so we can get closer and get a quick car spawn, and we've got to drive there as fast as possible. Is that right?
T'aurais pas l'intention d'aller prendre un peu l'air?
Ouais. Ok.
So what this does is like a mission later, it like skips a forced like tutorial screen on how to help Aiden with some weird DedSec stuff. It's like a long piece of dialogue, so
Yeah,
it
basically.
saves a ton of time.
Yeah, I try to get the mission before the dialogue ends, and that skips the WKC broadcast.
I don't really get
mission.
why it works though.
Je suppose que tu resteras dans la voiture quand on sera arrivé.
C'est un peu complexe comme question.
Oh non, c'est
So
pas
here
vrai.
there's two routes you can do. There's like the normal route and there's the bridge jump, which saves like a second. But it's really hard to like do quickly. Yeah, he's just gonna do the normal route here.
And this is also kind of a new route too.
Yeah, starting from the silo and going to all these places, most of the time it's not a straight line and there's no road going there. So you have to do these pretty creative routes that go off-road a ton.
Attends, t'es sérieux là? Putain, faut voir ce que t'es con.
This mission's really strange. There's like there's a whole cutscene that we just that's optional for some reason, and there's a quick optimization we can do. Instead of running, we just drive to the destination.
Yeah, basically
in the mission zone.
One of the only places we can kind of skip a checkpoint.
Yeah, it's really strange. Watch Dogs is notorious for having like really strict mission order and prerequisites and stuff like that. But in this room to our left, there's a whole cutscene that they want you to do, and we just don't need to do it. We can just jump through this window. Turns out if you just like line it up with the diagonal, you can get through. Normally you'd use the RC car to get in here and hack open a door.
Another hacking puzzle.
Frère, je vais pirater le système de sécurité, alors prépare-toi.
Merde, y a quelqu'un qui vient.
So fast. So this is a cutscene we can't skip.
Je te vois à travers les caméras de sécurité.
You'll see if we can try to get that cutscene over there. I can hack that camera.
Oh là
Can
là,
see that cutscene.
c'est exactement le genre de cauchemar que je fais en ce moment.
Faut que tu te rapproches encore. Je vais accéder à ton portable, comme ça je pourrai voir.
Putain, c'est pas vrai. Ok, j'y vais.
Okay, got it.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Un cadavre. Et j'ai l'impression qu'il y a un moment qu'il est là.
Oh non, si tu m'avais
Yeah, too bad it doesn't save any time.
Y a rien.
Yeah, it's just goofy. Playing two cutscenes at once.
Bon, va falloir que je trouve un moyen d'entrer.
L'équipe fouille les quais là, ils vont le retrouver. Ils ont intérêt, putain. Et Tobias Power? Kenny est sorti de sa cachette. On n'a plus besoin d'appât maintenant. C'est l'occasion rêvée. Si on le chope, on peut faire d'une pierre deux coups. Et la taupe, y a du progrès? Il devrait pas tarder à parler. Les gars s'occupent de lui.
These guys just despawn because you're not supposed to be seeing there. I think.
T'as entendu ça?
Yeah.
J'ai entendu. Et encore une fois, tout ça c'est ta faute.
Comment je pouvais savoir?
Peut-être parce que je te l'ai
Yeah,
dit.
we should be in Fur's camera right now, his body cam, but
Si on retrouve ce type et qu'on le libère, il pourra nous dire qui dirige
we're
l'opération
here
et où il se
instead.
trouve. Alors tu m'en diras
This
plus.
mission, there's some wacky stuff you can do. You can like, T-Bone's stuck up on these rafters and doing some sniping, but you can actually jump down and run around if you aim correctly, but nothing really happens.
Ouais, tu vas devoir t'occuper
Everything we need to access is on the boat, and again, it's Watch Dogs, so the order matters a whole lot, so there's nothing to skip really.
Ouais, j'irai bien voir dans ce bateau. Si ça se trouve, la taupe est peut-être dedans.
It won't be real all save here. Teleport me to that place.
Yeah.
Saves a few seconds.
So it's really important to kill everyone pretty quick here. If you're not fast enough, you'll actually get like a second wave of enemies.
It's also important to get this double kill here on these two enemies. If you don't get this double kill, then a lot of extra enemies spawn in this next scene.
Il y a du mouvement. Les fixeurs se déplacent. Attention. crois que je les ai tous eus. T'es toujours en vie? Power?
I'm gonna try to go for no dialogue skip here.
Et maintenant?
On va voir ce que tu...
Quoi? Non, non mais attends, tu veux traverser là-dedans?
Il suffit que t'ailles lentement et que t'appuies pas sur le bouton d'ouverture.
Je sais même pas à quoi ça ressemble, un bouton d'ouverture.
Ah, ça fait plaisir, ça donne confiance.
Think that's the only dialogue that it can skip and save timer. The other dialogue doesn't matter.
Oups,
Doucement, je t'ai dit! Fais pas ça quand je suis dedans!
t'inquiète.
I'll be jumping onto this container and
Gosh,
we
it's
don't know,
shaking
save.
so. Yeah, and you don't want to jump too early. It'll kill you if you jump on too early. This thing is super goofy at high FPS. Yeah, so you can see randoms kind of like wiggle side to side when he's sprinting. If you just press A and D, you can kind of wiggle a little bit, and that only happens at high FPS. At like 30 FPS, like that you play it on console, that wiggle doesn't happen if you
Ils emmènent quelqu'un avec eux.
strafe. And so that wiggle actually gets larger with higher FPS. So when you get up to 500 FPS, it's like 20 feet wide, and that if you can abuse that to do the speed strafing technique, but yeah, we're not doing that.
Surtout reste à distance.
So here there's going to just be like a long phone call. So during the time that we're waiting, we're just going to be grabbing some components and system keys and stuff.
Il peut s'asseoir? Pas grave. Tiens-le debout. Début de la 3e session avec Alex Jaworski, et c'est pas le nom qu'il nous avait donné. Alex est un flic infiltré.
But this dialogue here is French actually saves a lot of time.
Ok? Il me paye presque rien, putain. Écoutez. Laissez-moi partir et je vais quitter le pays. Je vous jure. Tu vas me donner tout ce que t'as photographié, envoyé et stocké et la liste de tes contacts. Sinon, mon pote te tranche la gueule. Non. Si je vous donne tout ça, vous allez me tuer juste après. Non.
I could go back inside the building, collect some more components, but
Tu m'as dit de le
I'm
planter,
good.
non?
Get inside this truck,
Comment il va
do
parler
a
maintenant?
dialogue skip instead.
C'était du bluff, putain. Bon, il faut
Yeah,
arrêter
so
les
there's two
braquages.
dialogues here,
Emmène-le à l'atelier et fais-le
but we
soigner.
just skip the one that's longer because you only have enough time to do one
Le type
dialogue
qu'ils ont
skip.
embarqué est sûrement notre taupe. Tu les suis toujours? Il est sympa, il nous a mâché le bout.
So on this mission, if we didn't reload the autosave earlier, we would have gotten some WKZ broadcasting, and that loses like 30 seconds or something. So it's really important that you, for the previous mission, you get into it before that phone call ends.
Yeah, and that probably saves like a minute.
Yeah, here I hope I don't get any police, because that could reset the timer until the next mission to show up. Still gotta do a little bit of waiting, even with the broadcast skip.
So just gonna look for some system keys during this wait time. Nothing else really.
Yeah, don't really need money in this run.
So here it's actually faster to like get on the bike and drive to the boat, but it's kind of hard to turn because like if you hold it a bit too long, it like slides and does a 180, which is really annoying.
You can also fall off the bike into the water and land on your face or something. Don't want to do that.
So over here is like the edge of the map, and this is where the weird world border walls are. And then so if you play at ridiculous FPSs like 500, you have to make your game look like garbage to do that. You can actually like just walk up the walls with some weird, by just walking into it in the right way. There's not much you can do. You can just run around out of bounds on the ceiling of the map essentially, but
It was a pretty good boat launch.
yeah, the boat went flying.
Unfortunately, I fell off the boat though. I believe this is where I'll use the RC car quick kill thing.
Yeah.
Hey!
Merde!
On a de la compagnie.
So these guys are really hard to kill, and the RC car makes it a whole easier. We need his gun. That's what will kill him.
C'est forcément...
Yeah, Yomuara's is really good.
Yeah, we're gonna use that gun for like most of the shootouts later in the game, because it's the best gun by far.
And that's right, it's actually kind of risky going out the front door.
Yeah, Random Machine almost died there. That could have been really bad.
Et avec ça, je vais pouvoir me tirer d'ici.
Police de Chicago, sortez du bâtiment immédiatement.
I had to use a blackout to do that strat.
Putain, mais comment ils nous ont trouvés?
And I'm gonna use another one here when escaping.
So what does this escape one do? Is it just for the police?
Yep. Hopefully I don't get this double cutscene. You can explain that.
There's not much to explain. This cutscene can happen twice randomly, and
Jack,
I don't know. It's just kind of a classic at this point.
apparemment, à Chicago, il y en a un paquet, mais chez Bloom, il y en a qu'un. Bingo.
I think it happens because something to do, losing the police and gaining them back again, or something similar to that.
Wait, sorry. You can get the double cutscene if you touch nothing. It happened to me every time I did this run. So, I think we dodged it. It always... Okay, good. It always comes out of nowhere when you least expect it.
Now I'll try to find a bike to get to the next mission.
Yeah, there's always like a chopper bike that spawns here somewhere. There it is.
Here we gotta do like a little mini game where I have to press some buttons on the screen.
Yeah, luckily there's no like cooldown, so you can just mash 1 through 4 and for the most part get stuff.
Putain, c'est du costaud. Non, c'est juste un bad trip. Un bad trip. Oh, j'ai la tête qui éclate. Il faut que je rattrape ce mec. Oh, putain, c'est quoi ça?
Yeah, I just measured out for this last one.
Allez, faut que je me concentre. Putain.
So here you can go to a pawn shop and get some extra components if you need them, but you can like it's kind of risky because you can lose the car if you're not fast enough, or like not get into the menu if the phone call happens and stuff like that. I'm not sure if Random Machine will do it now. Probably won't.
I won't, because I have enough components. Now, luckily I got one from the second mission and one from a car, so I don't need to go to the store.
Je te jure que c'est pas le bon moment.
Yeah, and this is just a tailing mission, so we gotta... You don't want to get too close to this guy. We're not actually tailing him, we're leading him, because it drives the same route every time.
So I'm trying to find a bike here. Hopefully I can get one.
T'inquiète, je contrôle.
Yeah, if you can find a bike, it makes the drive to the next mission a bit quicker because you can like park in the area that you do the rest of the mission in.
Il est au téléphone. Faut que j'écoute ce qu'il dit.
On tient Kenny. Préparez-vous.
Usually there's a bike at the gas station here, so I got one.
Dans la comptabilité de Bloom. Laissez-nous quelques jours. On fera en sorte que tout se fasse via les canaux appropriés.
Vous avez intérêt. Et Tifo, il t'a dit quoi?
Il fait tout ça.
It's actually the worst bike you can get, but still works.
Foiré de default. Je pensais qu'il avait quitté Chicago après la branlée qu'on lui a foutue la dernière fois. Bloom et Laura qui font alliance. Ça.
As long as I don't fail a mission, I don't think I can pretty comfortably meet the estimate.
Bloom me retrouvera où que j'aille. C'est qu'il est fort le con. En fin de compte, j'ai pas le choix. Il faut que moi je retrouve ce fils de pute et que je le bute le premier.
Someone in chat saying, "Why can I understand the voices?" French is faster. That's the reason.
J'ai besoin que tu cherches quelque chose pour moi.
Ok.
Commence par mes coordonnées.
Try to do some more download skips here.
Je vois rien.
Ah si, attends. Il y a un truc qui gigote là. Oh, c'est mignon. On dirait la queue d'une petite souris.
C'est ce qu'il me fallait.
C'est fait.
Alors, voyons ce qu'il a sur son ordi. Bordel. Ça me prendrait des jours pour le retrouver à partir d'ici.
I guess one of you guys can explain the hack anywhere strat.
I don't really get it. Do you, Galllabo?
Well, if you're just like kind of far away from the terminal, from the computer, when the download starts, you can hack the download from anywhere. Usually you have to like stay pretty close to it, but if you're just far away when it starts, you can do it from anywhere, and you can stand in a more optimal position to do the shootout. It only works. It doesn't work if you reload the autosave here for whatever reason, or if you like fail the mission or whatever. It doesn't really make sense why, but that's just how this works.
And it's important to kill everyone as fast as possible here. Once you go through all the enemies, the download goes way faster.
Yeah, like with this try, you can get like kill everyone by the time the download's at like 30%. I'm not sure even what the fastest percentage you can get it done at with the other strat.
So you can see the upload goes way faster now. Instead of percent a second, it's like 3. Love these typing cutscenes. It's just fun watching T-Bone type.
Oh, parce que maintenant tu veux discuter? Eh ben, T-Bone, j'écoute.
Putain de primitif consanguin! Mais tu réalises pas à quel point t'es à la masse!
Pourquoi tu viendrais pas ici qu'on en discute tous les deux? Le bâtiment derrière lui, c'était le vieil immeuble de
This is where the bike, driving the bike in here came in handy. You can just drive away immediately.
And this next mission, I'm gonna do another bam jump.
Un gamin avec un ego de merde et le talent qui va avec. Du coup, tout ça, c'est un putain de jeu pour lui.
Skips some running.
J'arrive pas à savoir si tu te fous.
This next mission, Ghosts. It's
Je proposerais bien de t'accompagner, mais
it's the most broken mission in the run right now. I'd say it's shouts to Quasar in chat.
Vidéo, Default était quelque part là-haut.
Finding this bomb jump.
Il viendra pas. Mais si, t'inquiète.
So normally I have to do a big U shape to run and go upstairs, but bomb launch, low FPS, survive it, and then we just gotta open the door up here, which you can just do remotely.
Ça suffit.
And then we're already in the door, so it just starts it immediately, and then it's gonna,
Quoi tout ça?
yeah, eject back out again. And there's still 2 more glitches to do in this mission. So this is just kind of a auto-scroller cutscene type mission. But coming up, when we go through this elevator door, it forces you to stop and like admire stuff. But if you pull out your phone menu, you can just kind of walk through that trigger and not have to wait for it.
C'est quoi ce truc?
And make sure to cap to 60, because I think this thing can actually kill you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it killed me once.
C'est pas possible.
Supposed to get out of this room. Yeah, you can just put the phone away. And then coming up, there's another cutscene. I think it's so this one's a mystery, but I think it's supposed to be cutscene skippable with spacebar, but for some reason it's like bugged. And so the only way to skip it is we go down to low FPS and then mash on both a controller and spacebar. And if we're lucky, you can see at the bottom it says B skip.
Nice.
Because, yeah, it's hard. It's like inconsistent, and you just have to get lucky. Because I think
It's like
a
frame
bug.
perfect.
Yeah.
But you don't actually need a controller, because I did it one time without a controller, but it just makes it a lot easier
Yeah.
to do.
You just need more buttons to mash.
Yeah, this one's actually really good so far.
Yeah.
allez, on lui rentre dedans.
So here in the past, I would just stop and kill everyone, but I think you've got it down to a science where you can dodge them and drive to your destination and save a whole bunch of time. You don't have to fast travel.
Yeah, so normally you take a different route here, because the enemy fixer was in a bad position. He's taking an alternate route here to avoid them.
Génial. Ah non mais génial, super.
I need IDs for this mission.
Yeah, in the past, I would just get like every upgrade. Because this next mission is just a huge shootout, and it's really easy to die, but Random Machine is way better at the game than me.
Okay, hope I get this gate skip thing. No, didn't work.
C'est l'heure. T'es prêt?
Oui, j'arrive.
Oh, j'ai l'impression que là, ça va devenir tendu.
So this mission, the story falls apart, and it kind of makes no sense, so just try not to think too hard about it.
Chut, y a un rat dans mon réseau.
So I'm gonna try to place the ID in this elevator here when I go down. Maybe for a demo skip.
Il désactive mes défenses. Je vais pas arriver à tenir très longtemps.
On le trouve, on le bute et on prend tout ce qu'on peut. Comme ça couvrira un peu le reste.
So here we want to purposefully get caught, by the enemies so that they like start running towards you. If you're not caught, then they just like hide in weird places and stuff. They shoot them and stuff.
Ouais, je suis là.
T'es à la bourre.
Ça va, je me suis paumé.
Quoi? Mais il est énorme ce silo.
Eh, s'il te plaît, on peut en reparler plus tard. Je m'en occupe. Mais avec mes modifications, ça va surcharger le système. Faut que t'ailles à la salle de contrôle et que tu fasses ce qu'il faut.
Yeah, so for like these next sections of the shootout, we're gonna be using like Tobias's traps a lot to kill enemies. Like they can hack like random explosions and stuff everywhere. Can help kill enemies.
Those doors. Oh no. It's a little scary. I've had an enemy like not exit through that door one time and they're just stuck behind it. And you can't kill them, and you just soft lock the mission. You have to restart the whole thing. That's a little scary. That one's still open even. Oh gosh. This game is a mess sometimes.
Il est chiant ce connard, hein?
Vous en voulez encore? Hein? Bande de petites salopes!
Vas-y doucement, Froueur.
Il perce mes défenses!
Bah arrête-le. Je vais voir ce que je peux faire.
So at the end of this mission, you can actually complete the section with like 5 people still alive. We don't know why this happens. It's just assumed to just be like random. Normally you have to kill all the enemies to end the mission, but sometimes five or like 6 or something can still be alive and you still end. Yeah, it's just assumed to just be like a random thing that happens sometimes.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful, because one time Random Machine got that, and he left him alive when he went upstairs, and it actually warped him back down. The enemy despawned, which counted as a death, and then like re-triggered the cutscene. It was crazy, and so he was doing the end cutscene in an unloaded basement.
Ils ont appelé des renforts. Ils arrivent.
Merde. S'ils sont trop nombreux, tu te casses.
I guess we'll mention that there is auto aim in this game, or aim assist. But if we had it to low on PC because it's just more of a hindrance than you can still auto aim by like scoping in. I think it automatically focuses on the enemy when you aim down sights.
Retrouve-moi dans la salle des commandes.
I personally just find auto aim or like aim assist just more annoying than helpful, so I don't even have it on. It's just super annoying.
Bon, on sait où se cache.
Je viens avec toi.
Non, je crois que cette fois il vaudrait mieux que j'aille tout seul.
Oh non, pas encore. Et je suis impliqué maintenant. Puis tu l'as dit toi-même, hein, t'as besoin de moi.
C'est marrant, j'avais pas l'impression de l'avoir dit.
Well, I guess the ID disappeared somehow,
Essaie de trouver les infos sur
so I can't do the dial skip. I'm not sure what happened.
Quand on sera sur place.
Yeah, so we just some really long dialogue here. I can skip this first line with the ID, but despawned, so
How long
I
is the line
can
that
do
you
it.
normally skip? Is that like the 18-second one or something like that?
The first line that happens here.
Oh, okay. So not that long.
Je sais que c'est pas seulement de ta faute, hein, si j'en suis là où j'en suis. J'approuve pas la manière dont tu as procédé, mais je sais bien que tu pensais faire ce qu'il fallait, oui. En gros, tu ne dois rien.
T'as fini?
Ouais, j'ai fini.
Super. Il n'y a plus qu'à trouver un moyen d'entrer. Alors toi tu me rappelles si tu vois quelque chose, et moi je fais pareil.
So now we're on to the last mission in the game. So Random Machine is gonna like do some camera manipulation stuff to have a bike spawn in the most optimal place.
Ouais, ça y est. J'ai trouvé les plans de l'immeuble. Je te l'indique sur ta carte. Moi, je suis déjà en route.
Parfait, on va se le faire ce con.
Now I'll try to get a bike to drive to the next objective.
Yeah, so there's a guaranteed, well, somewhat guaranteed bike spawn here. It's just which spot it spawns in. There's a trick that I used to do where you actually just kind of jump off the bridge to the end of this train yard, but I'm pretty sure it was driving in equipment, and it was like insanely risky to do the jump. So.
Okay, hopefully they don't shoot me while I'm trying to do this.
Yeah, they shoot you a bit because as the train drives off. Oh my gosh, a grenade! It actually like despawns and you'll take some damage, right? Oh, if they're shooting. Fun fact about that tunnel that the train drives into, you can actually drive into it, like drive out of bounds into that tunnel during the main campaign. You can just fit a bike through a gap there. But there's no load point or anything. Again, it's a Watch Dogs game, so everything has a prerequisite and you can't just skip straight to the last mission, unfortunately.
You guys explain the grenade strat here?
Okay, so normally you need to shoot two guys here, but you can just use a grenade, and that like lures the enemies to different places, so you don't actually need to shoot anyone. Saves like a few seconds. It saves like 1.5 seconds, I think.
Putain! Faut que je sorte d'ici! Quel foiré, il se sert d'infrason pour me désorienter. J'ai la tête qui va exploser. Il faut que j'arrête tout ça!
Nice. I didn't get the that dialogue there.
Yeah. So it's just a maze portion where you have to escort for. It's mostly just distract guards and have him move.
On n'échappe pas au rat si facilement, tu sais.
And just one more section to go at this.
Yeah, so we're gonna reload an autosave to skip a bunch of like force walking that you usually need to do here.
Je suis Dieu, issu de la
Yeah, just walking into the maze room that we were previously in.
So here, if you actually stand in a particular spot, you can manipulate the rest of the enemies to spawn in the same place every time. So they don't... Usually they spawn in like 5 different locations and you need to like, run in between them. But if you just stand in this one spot, they always spawn in that one area. Makes things more consistent and easier.
And it like really bugs out the audio track here when you do this strat.
On y est. La sortie du labyrinthe.
Not a single mission fail. Really good.
Yeah, that was great.
Just gotta wait for the rest of this cutscene, do some hacking, and that'll be it.
Éteignez votre caméra si vous voulez qu'il parte. Continuez à regarder si vous voulez voir la suite maintenant.
Si vous faites ça, vous vous sentirez coupable, exactement comme moi depuis toutes ces années.
Yeah, this was actually like a really good run. This is like less than a minute off of world record. It's really good.
Et je regrette que cette coule molle vous fasse revivre cette horreur. Alors même si moi je mérite tout ça, vous le méritez pas.
I think Quasar really wants you to fail the final hack.
Il semble qu'on ait notre réponse. Adieu. Ouais. Adios.
Alright, so the timing ends when he hacks the vent. You'll see like a cue dialogue on it.
There we go. It's GG.
GG. Great run.
Yeah, this was a really good showcase. Like, there was almost like no fails, really.
Oh, and happy birthday, Watch Dogs. 9 years.
Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I hope you tune in for the rest of the marathon.